You stand on the Persian shore, watching the Battle of Salamis unfold, one of the most significant naval battles of ancient times. Around you, there is an incredible calm, the soft sand beneath your feet, a gentle breeze bringing the scent of the sea, and the endless horizon painted by the rays of the rising sun. The battle plays out before you as if slowed down in time, free from hustle and worry. You remain a silent witness to historical events, feeling a deep sense of tranquility in every movement of the ships, every sound and color immersed in an atmosphere of harmony and silence, gradually returning to the earth after the day that will change the course of history. But before you settle in, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which city you're watching from and what time it is where you are. It's very interesting to see who has joined us. Now, get comfortable. We're starting. You stand quietly on the Persian shore, barefoot in the soft, warm sand. The gentle grains sink beneath your toes, embracing your skin in a reassuring, comforting touch. Dawn is rising slowly, washing the horizon with shades of pale gold and pastel pink, as if nature itself has blended these colors with careful patience. Ahead of you, the water gently laps at the shore, the whispering waves creating a rhythm so peaceful that your breathing soon matches its calm cadence. The air is filled with subtle aromas, salt and brine mingled with the faint sweetness of coastal vegetation. You take a deep breath, tasting the freshness of morning as it sweeps in from the open sea. The delicate breeze brushes your face, carrying the distant, barely audible sounds of preparation, voices issuing orders, men quietly murmuring prayers, the creaking of wooden hulls gently swaying upon the calm sea. Your gaze drifts outward to where countless Persian ships lay anchored, arrayed in careful formation like rows of disciplined soldiers waiting patiently for a sign to move. Their sails are furled neatly, and you notice how the masts stand straight, defiant in the face of an uncertain future. The boats are exquisitely carved, each prow bearing artistic depictions of creatures, mythic and real, as if they might spring to life at any moment to partake in what is soon to unfold. Beyond these ships, farther out on the tranquil waters of the bay, is the island of Salamis, visible through the thin morning haze. It rests quietly, appearing almost serene from your distant vantage point. Its hills shaded a delicate blue-gray in the morning light. You recall stories told of the Greeks hidden upon those shores, prepared to defend their homeland fiercely. Yet from here, the island looks calm, indifferent to the struggles about to unfold. You shift your attention back to the Persian camp on your side of the shore. Despite the anticipation of conflict, a quiet stillness hangs over the land. Soldiers stand at ease, their armor shining softly under the sunrise, bronze reflecting gently in tones of copper and amber. You notice their slow, measured movements, their calm conversations blending into a steady, comforting hum. Close by, a small group of men tends to a fire, coaxing warmth and light from dampened logs, their movements deliberate and practiced. You watch as sparks rise into the cool air, brightening momentarily before fading quietly into the growing daylight. There is a simple grace in their actions, a rhythm of ordinary life, continuing calmly amidst extraordinary circumstances. Turning slightly, you catch sight of Xerxes's distant tent, standing majestic and proud atop a slight rise. Its vibrant fabric, gold and purple embroidered with silver thread, glistens softly in the early morning light, a stark contrast to the subdued tones around it. Attendants move silently about, their careful steps conveying respect and solemnity. You wonder briefly about the thoughts of the mighty king, resting behind richly woven curtains, aware that his fate might shift dramatically in the hours ahead. The gentle sound of water draws your eyes back to the shoreline. You observe the tiny ripples formed by the breeze sliding rhythmically onto the sand, leaving behind delicate trails of foam. Each wave seems slightly different from the last, but all united in a tranquil dance with the earth itself. Time seems suspended, offering you a prolonged moment of reflection and tranquility amid the quiet expectancy surrounding the bay. The land around you stirs subtly, waking slowly beneath the golden warmth of sunrise. Birds call softly from the bushes nearby, their songs melodic and unhurried, weaving harmoniously with the quiet preparations unfolding around you. A sense of balance prevails, the world's inherent calm resisting even the shadow of the looming battle. You feel at peace here, despite your understanding of the momentous events soon to take place. Perhaps it is because, at this precise instant, the sea and sky seem eternal, untroubled by the ephemeral affairs of humans. This sensation grounds you, anchors you securely to this quiet shore, allowing you to observe without anxiety or fear. Some distance along the shore, you watch the slow, careful movements of fishermen retrieving their nets, seemingly oblivious to the significance of this day. Their boats, small and humble, bob gently in the shallows, their shapes forming pleasing silhouettes against the reflective sea. The rhythm of their work is familiar, comforting, and unchanging. You admire their serenity, the effortless way they embody life's simple continuities, even amid the gathering forces of history. The sun climbs higher now, lifting gently into the morning sky, illuminating the sea further, and you witness the Persian fleet coming into clearer view. Individual ships begin to stand out in greater detail, their decks filling steadily with warriors whose polished helmets sparkle gently under the morning sun. Yet even this gathering intensity remains tempered by the calm beauty of the scene around you. Each breath you take deepens your sense of tranquility. The day holds promise and peril, yet you remain an observer, distant and serene, held in the gentle embrace of the peaceful morning unfolding slowly on the Persian shore. As you remain still, feeling your presence quietly merging with the landscape, you become acutely aware of the land's quiet dignity. Tall grasses sway slowly in the breeze behind you, whispering gently as if sharing secrets of peace with one another. The trees lining the edge of the shore reach gracefully skyward, branches stretching toward the warmth of sunlight, indifferent to the fate awaiting fleets and empires. You find comfort in these moments, the world around you speaking softly of permanence and peace, a gentle reminder that beneath the movements of men and their desires, the earth continues its own steady, patient rhythm. The minutes drift by effortlessly, marked only by the gentle lapping of waves and the slow, careful movements of soldiers preparing quietly on the shore. You feel a deep calmness enveloping you, a sensation of belonging to this moment, this place, as you stand witness to the peaceful awakening of a shore on the brink of history. Far in the distance, the first Persian ships begin to move gently from their moorings, sails remaining furled, oars dipping slowly into the water with practiced precision. The bay echoes softly with rhythmic splashes, punctuated occasionally by distant voices issuing calm, deliberate commands. You watch closely, attentive yet detached, as the Persian fleet begins its cautious, deliberate advance toward the waiting Greeks at Salamis. Your breath matches the measured strokes of the oars, your pulse calm, synchronized to the serene rhythm unfolding before you. This is the day that history will remember, yet in this quiet moment on the Persian shore, you feel only peace, a quiet acknowledgement of the world's delicate balance, steady and serene beneath the unfolding drama. As the morning fully blossoms, you remain rooted to the spot, calm and at ease, quietly observing as the world around you awakens gently, unhurriedly, and with infinite patience. Standing on the Persian shore, you continue your silent vigil, your feet gently sinking deeper into the warm, yielding sand as the morning advances. The calmness of the early day lingers, though now subtly altered by the quiet stirrings of activity across the bay. The first Persian ships have started their deliberate, measured advance, and you watch with patient fascination as each vessel slowly moves away from the shoreline, marking the water with soft, rippling trails. You observe carefully how the fleet maneuvers into position, their wooden hulls gracefully gliding forward, each row of oars dipping rhythmically into the gentle sea. The steady strokes of the oarsmen carry across the water a soothing, consistent sound that reaches you as soft echoes, blending harmoniously with the quiet murmurings around you. Your gaze follows these early ships closely, noting the disciplined precision of their crews, the perfect timing as each oar rises and falls in unified elegance. Around you, the Persian soldiers quietly gather along the shore, watching their comrades set forth toward Salamis. Though their numbers are vast, the men seem subdued, respectful of the significance of this moment. Quiet conversations flow in soft, melodic tones, and occasionally you hear whispers of encouragement and prayer drifting gently on the morning air. You sense in these warriors a calm acceptance, a peaceful readiness to face whatever fate awaits them on the distant shores. Farther along the shore, the fire you observed earlier burns brighter, crackling softly as attendants continue their methodical tasks. Smoke rises in slender, wispy columns, creating a delicate contrast against the brightening blue sky. Nearby, men check their weapons with deliberate slowness, adjusting straps and testing spearheads, movements calm and unhurried, as if time itself had slowed to match the quiet rhythm of the unfolding day. Your eyes drift back to the sea, drawn again to the fleet now arrayed neatly in formation, gently swaying on the waves. The ship's sails remain furled, allowing greater precision as they move cautiously forward, controlled entirely by the synchronized power of oars. You marvel at the symmetry and grace of their coordinated movements, each boat positioned carefully, following an invisible choreography rehearsed countless times before. Across the bay, the island of Salamis becomes clearer as the morning haze gradually lifts. The rising sun paints the rocky coastline in warmer, brighter shades, highlighting cliffs and trees in vivid detail. You glimpse flashes of movement along the Greek shoreline, ships emerging quietly from coves, slowly coming forth to greet the Persian advance. These vessels, smaller and agile, maneuver skillfully, as though perfectly attuned to the currents and the moods of the sea itself. The anticipation of conflict builds slowly, yet even now, there remains an underlying serenity in everything you observe. The sea holds its calm, reflecting softly the pale blue sky above, undisturbed by the approaching clash. The ships, Persian and Greek alike, seem like pieces carefully placed upon a board, waiting patiently for the signal that will set their fates into motion. A warm breeze brushes gently across your face, carrying scents of sea and salt, mingling with the faint aroma of freshly cut timber from the nearby encampment. You close your eyes momentarily, savoring this blend of fragrances, allowing yourself to remain firmly anchored in the peace of the present moment. When you open them again, the fleet has moved further, spreading gracefully across the bay, covering the water in perfect lines. The sky grows brighter now, sunlight cascading across the water in shimmering waves of gold and silver, illuminating the advancing ships. Their wooden hulls glow warmly beneath the sunlight, colors deepening into rich shades of bronze and brown, accentuating their beauty and elegance. You watch as sunlight dances playfully across polished armor and weaponry, glinting gently from spear points and shields, creating soft, mesmerizing reflections that draw you deeper into contemplation. The rhythmic motion of the fleet is hypnotic. Each sweep of the oars seems to echo within you, calming your mind and heartbeat. You become fully absorbed in this moment, sensing the unity and determination flowing silently between the ships. Though aware of the impending conflict, you feel detached, an observer at peace, watching history unfold at its own pace. Alongside you, Persian soldiers quietly discuss strategy in hushed tones, their words drifting gently on the wind. Occasionally, you catch fragments of conversation, mentions of formations, maneuvering, and tactics, yet these words pass by like gentle ripples upon the surface of your consciousness. Your attention remains centered on the fleet's graceful advance, captivated by the poetic precision of its movement across the tranquil water. Nearby, a small group of attendants offers water and fruit to the waiting soldiers, moving calmly and with practiced grace. You watch as one soldier accepts an apple, its red skin shining softly in the morning sunlight. He holds it carefully, turning it slowly in his hand as if admiring its simple beauty, momentarily distracted from the battle soon to begin. There is tenderness in this small, quiet gesture, an understated affirmation of life's simple comforts amidst a world on the verge of upheaval. Time drifts quietly onward. You remain standing, perfectly still, feeling the warmth of the rising sun upon your skin. Around you, life moves slowly and deliberately. Soldiers adjust armor, commanders quietly issue instructions, attendants replenish supplies, all part of a quiet ballet unfolding with gentle inevitability. You are aware of each movement, yet remain separate, an observer apart, your mind tranquil as the fleet moves slowly forward, closer now to the shores of Salamis. As the Persian ships draw near the center of the bay, their careful maneuvering begins to shift subtly. The fleet spreads wider, opening formations with gentle precision, anticipating the movements of the Greek ships now clearly visible. The sea remains calm, reflecting quietly the steady, deliberate advance of vessels upon its surface. You notice that many soldiers along the shore have stopped their quiet tasks to watch this silent approach, their faces calm yet focused. The bay now seems filled with purpose, tension blending softly with tranquility. The breeze remains steady, warm and comforting, carrying with it distant sounds of voices, oars, and creaking wood, a gentle symphony underscoring the peaceful progression toward confrontation. Standing on the Persian shore, you remain deeply immersed in the calm unfolding around you, the tranquil beauty of ships moving gracefully through water, sunlight reflecting softly from polished armor, and the quiet acceptance in the hearts of those awaiting their destiny. Your breathing remains steady, matched perfectly to the rhythm of oars dipping quietly into the sea. The world around you moves slowly, deliberately forward, bearing you gently toward the inevitable moments still to come. From your tranquil place on the Persian shore, you watch as the sun climbs steadily higher into the sky, casting clear, golden illumination upon the serene waters of the bay. Despite the peace surrounding you, an undeniable tension now fills the air, subtle yet palpable, carried gently by the quiet breeze brushing against your skin. You remain calm, however, anchored in the gentle embrace of sand beneath your feet, focused intently on the unfolding scene across the bay. At the midpoint of the bay, Persian and Greek ships have finally drawn close enough to each other, their previously cautious movements gradually giving way to deliberate encounters. Still, from your distant vantage point, the beginnings of conflict are strangely muted, softened by distance, breeze, and open water. Instead of chaos, you witness an oddly graceful interplay of vessels, approaching and withdrawing like dancers in an intricate performance. As you continue to observe, the first audible sounds of battle drift faintly to your ears. They are gentle at first, subtle creaks of wooden hulls as they press together, the distant, muffled thud of oars briefly colliding, and faint, indistinct shouts carried across the surface of the water. Yet even these noises remain peaceful, quiet echoes of actions whose intensity is softened by distance and the gentle rhythm of the sea. You watch as Persian ships attempt to maneuver carefully, their larger hulls moving deliberately to encircle and outflank their Greek counterparts. The Greeks, in turn, use their smaller and more agile ships skillfully, darting forward and back, evading larger vessels with an elegance that feels almost playful from your vantage point. Though you are aware of the reality of conflict, the serene beauty of these movements holds your attention firmly, immersing you in their subtle rhythms and deliberate grace. Your gaze is drawn upward to the sails, still mostly furled on Persian ships, now gently swaying from side to side. Their vibrant colors catch the sunlight softly, creating patterns of brightness and shadow against the clear sky. Occasionally, small pieces of fabric flutter free, dancing gently in the breeze, floating serenely to the surface of the water below, further enhancing the dreamlike quality of this distant battle. Nearer to shore, the Persian soldiers around you remain quietly observant. Their calm demeanor is remarkable, considering the magnitude of events unfolding before them. Conversations have mostly ceased, replaced by thoughtful silence, an acceptance of what is happening as they stand peacefully, watching their comrades engage across the bay. The rhythmic lapping of gentle waves at their feet seems to offer a soothing reassurance that life, despite everything, remains in perfect balance. You turn your attention again toward the battle, noticing now a few plumes of smoke rising slowly into the clear sky. They drift lazily upward, forming gentle columns of gray and white, blending softly into the blue expanse above. You watch these smoke trails carefully, noticing their quiet elegance, the graceful way in which they rise, spiral, and gradually disperse into the stillness of the morning. Occasionally, you observe the flickering orange glow of a distant fire aboard one of the ships. Even these moments seem strangely subdued from your position, small, glowing points of color punctuating the otherwise peaceful tableau of ships gliding smoothly across the bay. You reflect quietly upon these moments, acknowledging the intensity of what is happening, yet remaining grounded in the tranquility of your surroundings. On the shore near you, a group of Persian commanders has gathered quietly, speaking softly among themselves, their voices blending gently with the quiet hum of waves and wind. You listen to the calm cadences of their conversation, catching fragments that carry softly through the air, tactical adjustments, patient analyses of the fleet's movements, and quiet reassurances offered with composed authority. Their measured voices add to your sense of peace, despite the growing intensity of the distant battle. As time moves gently forward, you begin to notice the shifts within the bay. Ships that had once moved carefully now find themselves drawn closer together, engagements lasting slightly longer, collisions more purposeful. Yet from your position, the bay continues to present itself as a scene of carefully choreographed motion, the violence of battle softened into something almost poetic and contemplative. You watch closely as individual vessels maneuver slowly, their oars dipping into the water in perfect rhythm, creating delicate ripples that spread outward, merging seamlessly into the larger calmness of the sea. The sun, now high overhead, reflects brilliantly off polished armor and shields, turning these distant confrontations into moments of shimmering beauty. Despite knowing the battle's true intensity, you cannot help but admire the aesthetic elegance presented to you in this distant tableau. Your eyes drift towards Salamis, the island now clearly visible beneath the noon sun. Along its shorelines, you can distinguish small clusters of movement, soldiers and sailors moving slowly, carefully, preparing their defenses. The island's rocky coastline shines brightly, reflecting sunlight gently and forming a picturesque backdrop to the slowly intensifying battle. Standing motionless, you breathe deeply, savoring the fresh, salty air filling your lungs. Your senses remain calm, your mind clear, your heart steady and untroubled. Even now, as more smoke rises gently above the water, casting faint shadows upon the surface, you maintain your serene perspective, viewing the unfolding events as a distant, tranquil observer, deeply respectful of the scene, yet apart from it. Time seems suspended in this gentle, rhythmic battle, each passing moment blending seamlessly into the next, defined only by the slowly shifting positions of ships and the subtle changes in sound carried across the water. You remain deeply attentive, yet utterly at peace, feeling yourself merge quietly with the gentle beauty surrounding you, embraced by the warmth of sunlight and the comfort of the sand beneath your feet. Occasionally, the battle's distant sounds swell briefly, a sharper collision of wood against wood, louder shouts, or the faint crackle of a more substantial fire. Yet each sound soon recedes again into the larger calm, softened by distance and tranquility. Even in these moments, you remain peaceful, centered, observing carefully and respectfully from your place upon the shore. Finally, as the sun reaches its peak, casting the world in brilliant clarity, you take in the full expanse of the bay once more. Persian ships continue to press forward slowly, their disciplined ranks now slightly disrupted, yet still maintaining a quiet elegance in their collective movement. Greek ships respond deftly, sliding between gaps with graceful precision, maintaining their delicate dance upon the calm sea. You watch with quiet contemplation, aware of the human struggle happening upon each distant deck, yet feeling only the serene beauty of this unfolding drama. From your distant place on the Persian shore, the battle at Salamis remains a peaceful scene, a tranquil choreography upon gentle waters beneath the infinite expanse of a clear, sunlit sky. Breathing deeply once again, you remain calm and attentive, knowing that more is yet to come, yet savoring the peace that still holds your spirit gently in its embrace. You remain quietly stationed upon the Persian shore, your feet firmly grounded in the now cooling sands. Hours have passed gently, almost imperceptibly, as the afternoon gracefully shifts toward evening. Though the distant clash continues, the setting sun softens all that you see, enveloping the bay in a gentle, comforting warmth. The tension of midday recedes, replaced by a serene beauty as daylight gradually gives way to twilight. The sky above Salamis begins to transform slowly, deepening first into delicate shades of amber, then moving toward richer, warmer hues of coral and rose. Clouds drift lazily overhead, catching the fading sunlight and reflecting subtle tones of lavender and gold. Their slow passage across the sky complements the quiet movement of ships below, each moment blending into the next with peaceful continuity. From your vantage point, the once clear lines of battle appear softer, almost dreamlike now. Persian and Greek vessels, previously engaged in purposeful encounters, seem to glide gently upon the surface of the bay, their movements graceful and calm under the approaching evening light. Smoke from burning ships continues to drift softly upward, becoming delicate veils illuminated by the sun's warm orange glow. You watch as individual fires glow faintly upon the water, their flames reduced to soft, quiet flickers. These gentle lights, viewed from your distance, seem almost comforting, like small lanterns carefully placed to mark a peaceful evening upon the sea. The wind, now cooler yet still gentle, carries faint traces of smoke and salt toward you, mingling softly with the scent of evening blooms along the shore. Around you, the Persian soldiers have settled into quiet contemplation, their faces turned toward the sunset. They speak rarely now, their earlier conversations having faded away naturally, replaced by thoughtful silence and gentle reflections. You sense their quiet acceptance, their calm acknowledgement of what has unfolded throughout the day. A few men sit upon the sand, quietly tending fires, whose gentle crackling adds a comforting, rhythmic accompaniment to the peaceful evening. Your attention returns to the bay, watching the ships closely as twilight continues its quiet progression. The waters of the bay, so tranquil now, reflect the shifting sky with perfect clarity, turning the surface into a mirror of delicate colors. The gentle sway of the ships upon the water creates soft ripples that dance across these reflections, further enhancing the quiet beauty of the scene before you. Gradually, the noises of battle fade into near silence. The occasional distant call or muted sound of shifting timbers drifts gently toward the shore, yet these sounds now blend seamlessly into the tranquility of the evening, becoming part of its calm texture. You remain still, your breathing slow and even, fully immersed in this peaceful transformation of day into night. Along the shore, the soft flicker of small campfires continues, casting warm, comforting circles of light upon the sand. Soldiers sit quietly in small groups, speaking in gentle tones, their conversations blending with the rhythmic sound of waves brushing softly against the shore. You listen carefully, comforted by this quiet symphony of gentle sounds, each element perfectly balanced and harmonious. Looking once more across the bay, you notice that some ships, damaged and drifting gently upon the water, seem almost peaceful now, their wooden hulls illuminated faintly by the fading twilight. You reflect quietly upon the calmness of these images, sensing the resilience and quiet dignity of vessels now resting softly upon the calm sea. The beauty of this moment seems profound, untouched by judgment or sorrow, merely existing in perfect serenity. As the sun finally nears the horizon, its disk becoming a glowing golden sphere, you feel the air around you begin to cool slightly, carrying gentle hints of night's approach. Birds return quietly to nests along the shoreline, their soft calls adding another peaceful note to the quiet evening. You watch as small groups of Persian soldiers, their armor glowing softly in the fading light, quietly prepare their evening meals, movements unhurried and deliberate. The horizon gradually darkens further, deepening into shades of indigo and violet, contrasting gently with the lingering warmth of the sunset colors. You notice the stars beginning to appear faintly, tiny points of light emerging one by one, twinkling gently, quietly asserting their place in the vast expanse of sky above. You breathe deeply, savoring this transition, sensing the quiet ease with which nature reclaims the moment, guiding your thoughts toward calm acceptance. Your eyes linger upon the ships, now mere silhouettes upon the water, their outlines softened by darkness, appearing as gentle shadows floating serenely upon the tranquil sea. Nearby, the gentle crackling of campfires continues, mingling peacefully with quiet laughter and soft voices murmuring stories and memories. These human sounds blend naturally into the quiet evening, underscoring the serene, timeless beauty of this place. You observe the men closely, feeling deeply respectful of their calm dignity, their quiet strength evident even in moments of restful contemplation. Your gaze shifts upward again, watching as the colors of sunset finally surrender fully to night. Darkness settles gently upon the bay, yet even now, the faint glow of distant fires upon the water creates subtle highlights, delicate contrasts enhancing the serene atmosphere. You remain tranquil, completely at peace within this gentle transition, feeling deeply connected to the quiet beauty of this unfolding night. From the shore, the island of Salamis fades gently into shadow, its outlines becoming softer, blending naturally into the gathering darkness. The Greek coastline, previously clear in daylight, now becomes a peaceful silhouette, a quiet backdrop to the bay's soft, reflective surface. You observe the beauty of this gentle transition, fully immersed in the quiet rhythms of nightfall. As the evening deepens, you notice that the sounds around you have become quieter still, reduced mostly to the soft whisper of waves upon sand and the occasional faint, distant sound from ships upon the bay. Soldiers near you lie down, resting calmly beneath blankets spread upon the sand, their breathing rhythmic and peaceful. A profound serenity now envelops the entire shore, touching every soldier, every ship, and every moment of your quiet observation. In this serene twilight, your heart feels deeply peaceful. The gentle darkness surrounding you seems comforting and protective, softly cushioning all that has unfolded during the day. You remain completely still, absorbed in the quiet beauty of this nightfall, understanding that, despite the day's turmoil, this moment remains perfect, balanced, and utterly calm. Standing quietly upon the Persian shore, beneath a now star filled sky, You feel deeply connected to the rhythm of nature itself, comforted by the timeless peace of evening, and fully at ease with the gentle beauty that envelops the bay, the ships, and your own quiet heart. Night has gently settled over the Persian shore, bringing with it a profound, enveloping stillness. You remain quietly in place, bare feet now nestled in cool sand, feeling the gentle grains shift softly between your toes. Darkness spreads gracefully across the bay, softening every outline, quieting every sound, embracing the world with an infinite calm. Your eyes adjust slowly to the soothing darkness. Where before ships had moved in deliberate formation, now only quiet silhouettes remain, their shapes blending into the night. A gentle mist rises slowly from the water, softly enveloping vessels in a tender veil, as if protecting them from memory and time. You breathe deeply, feeling the cool night air fill your lungs, calming your spirit further. Above you, the sky has become a peaceful tapestry of stars, scattered gently across the vast expanse of night. Their delicate light reflects faintly upon the tranquil surface of the bay, creating subtle patterns that move slowly with the rhythm of gentle waves. You find yourself quietly mesmerized, drawn deeply into contemplation by the calm, eternal beauty of the heavens above. Around you, Persian soldiers have settled fully into rest, their breathing slow and steady beneath the starry canopy. Fires have dwindled to glowing embers, their faint warmth adding gentle comfort to the chill of night. Occasionally, small sparks rise from these embers, dancing gracefully upward before fading quietly into darkness. Tiny lights briefly illuminating faces peacefully lost in sleep. Your attention drifts once more toward the sea, sensing now the profound tranquility returning so gradually after the long day. The bay, earlier disturbed by battle, has reclaimed its natural rhythm, the gentle waves softly lapping against the shore, whispering quiet reassurances as they retreat and return in their eternal, unhurried motion. The faint sound of water brushing sand blends seamlessly with the peaceful breathing of soldiers around you, creating a soothing lullaby of night. You notice faint reflections still lingering upon the water, soft points of flickering light from distant, smoldering vessels, diminished now to gentle embers. Each tiny glow feels calming rather than troubling, gentle reminders of events that seem somehow softened, less urgent, as the quiet night gradually reclaims the scene. You watch these embers carefully, allowing their subtle beauty to touch your heart with quiet reverence. Farther away, Salamis itself has disappeared almost completely into shadow, its form barely perceptible, hidden behind a misty curtain of night. You sense the island's presence rather than seeing it clearly, aware of its quiet, solid dignity amid the peaceful darkness. This distant shore, now silent, feels infinitely patient, unchanging beneath the calm gaze of the night sky. Nearby, Persian soldiers begin to stir gently from sleep, movements slow and calm. A few rise quietly, stepping softly along the sand, checking upon their companions, offering blankets and whispered reassurances. Their movements seem almost ceremonial, performed with quiet reverence and tender care, reflecting deep respect for their comrades' rest. You watch carefully, noticing the quiet strength evident even now in the gentle gestures and calm expressions of these men. Their quiet resilience resonates deeply within you, further anchoring your spirit in the profound calmness of this moment. As each soldier quietly settles again into rest, peace deepens, spreading gently across the shore like a comforting blanket of serenity. Turning your attention upward again, you notice how clearly the stars now shine, their brilliance enhanced by the deepening darkness of the night. Each tiny point of light seems infinitely gentle, distant, yet comforting, softly illuminating the quiet landscape below. You find yourself contemplating the vastness of the universe, the timeless patience of stars watching calmly over human affairs. Your breathing matches the rhythm of gentle waves once more, each inhalation and exhalation blending seamlessly with the tranquil beauty of the night. The sand beneath your feet now feels pleasantly cool, grounding you further in this peaceful reality. The subtle sense of salt, smoke, and nighttime vegetation mingle softly around you, creating a delicate fragrance unique to this moment. Far in the distance, across the water, faint sounds occasionally drift toward you, the creak of a damaged vessel gently swaying upon waves, the quiet murmur of voices softly discussing events, and the distant calls of nocturnal birds. Each sound remains muted, unobtrusive, enhancing rather than disrupting the serenity of the scene unfolding gently around you. You remain calm, fully immersed in this tranquil experience, appreciating deeply the delicate balance now returning to the world. Hours earlier, this bay had been a place of tension, anticipation, and conflict, yet now it rests peacefully, wrapped carefully in the gentle embrace of night. You find profound reassurance in this transition, recognizing how effortlessly the natural world returns to calmness, bringing balance and quiet dignity back into focus. Nearby, a small group of Persian soldiers rises again quietly, moving slowly toward the water's edge. You observe their gentle gestures as they kneel by the waves, washing their hands and faces softly, their movements ritualistic, performed with serene intention. Each soldier moves silently, respectfully, allowing the quiet rhythm of waves to guide their actions. You feel deeply connected to these men, sensing their quiet acknowledgement of events past and their calm acceptance of whatever might follow. You admire their grace, their patient strength, their willingness to embrace peacefulness in the aftermath of conflict. Each man eventually rises slowly, stepping back softly onto the sand, joining companions in quiet conversation or restful silence. As the night continues to deepen, a profound sense of timelessness settles over you. The gentle passage of minutes and hours becomes less distinct, replaced by an endless, peaceful present. The bay remains tranquil, reflecting perfectly the quiet sky above, its surface now as still and calm as glass. Ships resting gently upon these waters appear timeless, their presence merely a quiet, peaceful note in the night's gentle symphony. Standing calmly, you reflect quietly on all you have witnessed. The careful preparations at dawn, the slow, deliberate movements of ships, the distant intensity of battle, and the quiet beauty of sunset. Each event has been absorbed into the gentle calmness of night, leaving you with only peace, gratitude, and quiet contemplation. Slowly, as the first soft hints of dawn begin to lighten the eastern horizon, you remain in quiet observation, appreciating deeply the silence returning to this place. Darkness gradually fades, replaced by subtle hues of gray and blue, softly announcing the return of morning. Yet, even as daylight approaches, tranquility remains, carrying gently into the new day. As dawn finally breaks, you feel deeply at peace, fully immersed in the quiet beauty surrounding you. Ships, soldiers, bay, and shore all remain calm, reflecting the infinite patience and balance of the natural world. Your breathing steady, your spirit serene, you continue observing, knowing deeply that beneath all human events, peace endures, quietly awaiting its gentle return. Standing on the Persian shore, with the gentle arrival of morning slowly revealing the world once more, you feel complete tranquility. The profound silence that followed the day's turmoil has touched you deeply, offering quiet reassurance, timeless patience, and infinite calmness. The bay, now gently illuminated by the rising sun, quietly reflects the serene beauty of the returning day. Ships, soldiers, sea, and sky have become one peaceful whole, forever connected within your quiet, grateful heart.